Alright, what's happening guys? Max Kezik here, coming at you from beautiful Australia. It is another sunny day, as you can see. So I thought in today's video guys, because it's raining, I might do a quick video on losses. Basically how I got rich with crypto and then lost it all. But before we get into that guys, I kind of want to have an introduction on how I actually got into the finances and actually making money, and also talk a little bit about investing, credit cards, building your credit score, things like that. So let's start it off with year 2019, early on. Basically what was happening guys was I was going to work back and forth, you know, working a 9 to 5. I also had a job in a club, so doing a bit of let me turn that off because that would be very annoying, the whole video. Had a job in a nightclub as well, you know, so I worked like pretty much 50 to 60 hours a week, and that was good. But I wasn't really making that much money, so I was maybe pulling like 1.2 from my main job, doing 50 hours, and then the rest I'll maybe make another 200-300 per month as an extra. My whole life I was a saver. I was saving all the time, you know. I never really knew anything about investing, how that works, and how you can actually get rich from investing. I thought that investing was only for the rich people. So year 2019 comes. I decided to move in with my ex-girlfriend. I remember living in a very shitty studio flat. It was so small. We were paying like pretty much nothing for it, but it was in like the worst location ever. Pretty much at my lowest point as far as, you know, money goes. Had nothing on me whatsoever. And at that time I started saving. So I quickly saved about 2 grand. And I was thinking, what do I do with this? Like, I have to actually start deploying this money into the market and start learning about it. So this is where I came across a guy called Graham Stephan, financial education, and there was a couple of more guys like Meet Kevin. All these guys were pretty much massive superstars on YouTube, spreading the financial education across those platforms like on YouTube and Instagram and all that. And that's when I started to really learn about investing. There's also another guy called, I believe, Andrew something. I forgot his second name. I think he's Russian. I'm not sure. But you guys definitely know him. He's got a channel, I think, with over 1 mil subs. And he's more of a crypto guy, but he also does a lot of stocks. So I was learning from these guys mainly because the way they were, you know, giving out this message was very easy for a newbie to learn. A lot of the guys that teach, you know, stocks or whatever, they overcomplicate things. So for a newbie, you're just going to get lost and you will never get into it. So that was very important. That's when I learned what an S&P 500 was. I opened up a brokerage with Vanguard, and in, I believe it was like September 2019, I deployed my first £500 into the S&P 500, and I was putting in about £300 a month. Now keep in mind guys, I was paying my food, my rent, my bills, you know, all of that takes a lot of money out of your account, and yet I still managed to put aside £300 a month to make sure that I invest in my future. Fast forward 1 year, I got to the point when I had over £2,000 in my account, in the brokerage account. I went through my first market crash. I started putting more money in during the crash, so I bought the S&P pretty much throughout, you know, March 2020, and I came out with like 100 quid profit, you know, in 2020. So it was like, that's when I realized that investing in these indexes is just not gonna get you there. It will get you there, but it will take you years and years of investing, slaving away at your job for like decades just to get to the point where you can actually be financially free. This is where I started to do my research on single stocks, and also that's when I, you know, stumbled upon crypto. So this is where I first caught my best stock ever that made me, I believe, like 4 grand, which was Tesla. I bought Tesla at $330. I also caught Upwork with the help of the financial education Jeremy, so a big thank you to him because he actually talked about this company. That's what I got in, not because of what he said, but I actually done my research myself as well, and I thought this is a great company, and I went all in on that as well. I bought it at 14.50 and I sold it at 47.50. So I've made quite significant gains on that, and I also lost money. But the good thing is, guys, I've always actually made more money in stocks than I actually lost. Some of the companies that I've lost on would be things like Coinbase, some other SPACs, which I was just basically kind of gambling on, but luckily I didn't lose a lot of money. I maybe lost like, like 100 each, probably in total maybe lost like 2 grand or something like that, which was nothing compared to the amount of money I've made from stocks. But even that wasn't enough. I got to that point when I'm thinking I need to make money quicker, and what is going to get me there quicker? Crypto. So this is where we're gonna go into my crypto journey. So let's move back to the market crash in March 2020. That's when I started seeing a lot of videos on Bitcoin. Now, if you were into Bitcoin in 2019, you were pretty much one of those guys that is like, believing in, scams or whatever. A lot of people would talk really badly about Bitcoin. A lot of the guys on YouTube would just say that, like, if you're buying Bitcoin, you're stupid and you're gambling. There was no use for it and blah blah blah. But for some reason I just knew that there was something in Bitcoin that is going to be valuable for the future. Now, cryptocurrencies are so difficult to understand for the average person. So for you to try to understand every single project, you're probably gonna fail. And even if you can get to the point where you actually kind of get it, it's probably going to be too late and the project will already pump. So a lot of the times you have to kind of get in very, very quickly. So I bought ETH at £175, but unfortunately I sold it very quickly, I believe like 190 or like 200. So I've made not a lot of profit. Now, fast forward to now, obviously, like ETH is now probably worth like 3k, something like that. Like I haven't checked the price in a while. But the good thing is I got back into ETH at 800 and I sold at the very, very top. So I've made like 3 or 4x on Ethereum. I caught ADA at 0.22 and sold it pretty much at the top as well in the last pump. And this is all because I was, researching hours and hours on end. Now, meanwhile, guys, I had a job, but I was working from 80 to 90 hours a week. So after that, I actually got a very, very good job in, during the crash, basically, because I've lost my job as well at the same time. And I was actually unemployed for about a month. And this is what I realized, that a 9 to 5 is not fucking safe, guys. A lot of you guys think that a 9 to 5 is a safe environment. Any fucking time, your employer can literally just fuck you off and you have nothing. So this is why I tell you guys, you have to be responsible for your own money. Make sure you're self-employed, you're making money somehow. If it's online, if it's you selling some shit, is it you offering some sort of a product or a service? It has to be something where you can actually make money yourself. You can't be relying on people to provide you with jobs. That is a very slavery mentality. Thinking like a slave, thinking you provide me with something because I'm too stupid to make money myself. I'm getting a bit off track here, so going back to the cryptos, I got a link at £8 and again sold at the pretty much very top. And when I'm saying very top, I sold like maybe like a day or two before like it reached like the full top. So I was pretty happy with that. Like I've made, I believe, 300 or 400% on Link. I've made 900% on ADA. Solana, I got in at like 100. I got out, not at the top, but I've made like maybe 30 or 40%. So nothing really big, but I've made some money. And also Hex, guys. I got in Hex at 0.24, and that is now staked for the next, I think 4 years. That is something that I just wanted to basically put some money out there for the future and not really think about it. And the same goes for my sacrifice phase for Postchain. That has been sacrificed. I believe Postchain is coming out very, very soon. I believe mid-May. So hopefully we'll see that, within the next couple of weeks, and then we can see whether we will sell or hold it. But that's pretty much it for the cryptos. Now, Where I've made the mistake is listening to some of the influencers on YouTube. So there is guys like the Alex Becker, and also a very famous dude that was pumping a lot of these stocks called the Kyle Show. So I'm gonna say it right now, I'm very stupid for listening to people like that and actually taking their advice, not really doing a lot of research into these projects. So this guy was pumping these cryptos very, very heavily during the time where everything was pretty much all-time highs. So let me go into those cryptos that, you know, pretty much performed the worst, and it was probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life. Starting off with Alu, called Artura. So that is a project that is connecting NFTs and gaming together. Now I've lost loads of money on that. That was my biggest position. I am currently down 93% on that investment, so you can imagine how much money that is. Next one would be Kylin, which I'm down 91% on that investment as well. Then Atari token at 87%. Next one, we got Poker Markets, 91% down. We got Poker Bridge at 93% down. Then we got D-Race at 83% down. And last but not least, we got a heavily promoted coin called Postpad, which is supposed to be a launch pad for Postchain. At 97% down. And this is the one that really pissed me off, because this project is pretty much like a pump and dump, and it was heavily promoted, like heavily promoted many times by a guy called Joe Paris. So again, this guy, you know, massive following, a lot of subscribers. I later found out that the guys from Brazil Project, which basically promote things like Postpad, Tronpad, ETHPad, AdaPad, all of these projects which basically pump within the first week, like 300x, 500x, and all the projects that this company actually promotes, they all just literally go up and then down, just dump, that's it, like you've lost your money. So if you can trade it, get in the beginning before it actually launches, you can make some serious money, but you have to be careful because everybody will be fucking dumping. And what they do is they actually pay, they have like an affiliate thing, they pay a lot of these guys to promote this stuff online, these pumps and dumps, and then basically that's how these influencers make money, and then you guys are left holding the fucking bag, like myself. So this is where, you know, in investing, guys, you learn through these sort of mistakes. Now I haven't obviously sold my positions, I'm holding these positions. It does suck a lot, guys, because I'm pretty much down like over 30 grand on a lot of these positions, and you have to understand it's more than 90% down, so there is no point really selling it. Like, you're getting pretty much nothing in return. So I believe it's better just to hold it throughout the bear market. The ones that will succeed through, that will basically not get weeded out, you might get your money back, but I wouldn't really rely on that, because a lot of these projects will basically die in the bear market, and then once the bull market comes, they might not even be around anymore. So this is kind of what you're learning through, you know, trading in that kind of way. The worst thing is, guys, when people actually lose money, they don't fucking expose these shitbags that are fucking promoting this sort of shit, and then it's like they don't tell you when to sell, they don't tell you when to fucking buy. They just literally say, oh, this is not financial advice, and that's it, you know, and then they just make loads of money on it. They fucking dump on your ass, and then they just, you know, fucking exit within the first week, and you're left fucking holding the bag, you know. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it because it seemed like, oh, you're hating on the guy or this or the other. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just here speaking the fucking truth. Of course, if you are investing in these sort of risky projects, it's your own fault, you know, and you have to own up to it. Now, it does suck, you know, because when you're working your fucking ass off, you know, for a year and a half, let's say, having no sleep, and you put this money to work and it crashes, it can be a little bit, you know, shitty. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, the only other way I've lost money is through trading. You know, trading is extremely difficult. I probably lost like more than 1.5 grand trading so far, but I've also regained a lot of that money back. And trading, again, when you're starting out, you make a lot of mistakes, but when you actually stick with it and you learn every single day and you're determined and you have your risk management sorted so you don't go all in or all out, this is where, you know, you can actually make decent amount of money, but you have to be willing to actually learn and stay in it for the long term. So that's pretty much my financial journey. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. You know, there was a lot of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I've still made more money than not investing. So I would highly encourage you guys to start your investing journey depending on your risk tolerance. Choose something that you're comfortable with. Of course, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but everybody should be into investing, whether it is real estate, stocks, index funds, crypto, you name it, you should be investing. That's the only way to actually get rich. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle loads. If you're the type of person that is an entrepreneur and you know for a fact that you don't need to be fucking investing and you can make money from your own business, online, or whatever, then invest into that. That is probably one of the best investments. But for the average people, guys, that do not have the entrepreneurial mindset, unfortunately, investing is the only way they could actually get rich. Hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button if you've made it to the end. Comment down below. Let me know your experiences with investing. And have you lost money? Tell me your wins, tell me your losses. I'm very interested. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and click that notification bell so you're notified every single time I post a new video. That is it. We are out.